Somaliland National Television English, and I'm Ali Ubahlid, broadcasting from studios here in Hargeisa. We're here to update you on local and international news. These are stories making headlines. UN delegation led by Director General of Aviation and Air Transport take tour of developmental projects in Togdera region. Ministry of Interior holds conference for Togdera police officials on gender-related investigations. Somali militant base of Kismayo attacked by Amazon forces. Director General of Aviation and Air Transport Ahmed Dalal Farah led a high-profile delegation comprised of senior government and non-governmental officials to several developmental projects occurring in Togdera region. Country Director of UNDP, Stephen Kinlock, a member of this delegation, expressed his commitment to providing further assistance to national advancement initiatives.
Somaliland's Ministry of Aviation and Air Transport is implementing several development projects throughout the nation. In specific, major renovation and reconstruction projects to the nation's airports have been a primary concern for this administration. Director General of Aviation and Air Transport Ahmed Dalal Farah led a delegation of senior officials representing the United Nations to Togdera's main airport. The United Nations Development Program contributed more than $96,000 to renovation and reconstruction plans for Togdera's main airport. Director General of Aviation and Air Transport Ahmed Dalal Farah provided this high-profile delegation with a descriptive tour of developmental projects occurring at the airport. He stated that this administration's objective has and continues to focus on progress and national advancement initiatives. The Director General is credited for playing an active role in building a cooperative relationship between international organizations and the Ministry of Aviation and Air Transport. Governor of Togdera Region, Abdo Ahmed Ayer, also attended the tour provided by Director General of Aviation and Air Transport. The governor emphasized the importance of improving the appearance of national airports, while urging local residents and business owners to contribute to national progress efforts. Stephen Kinlock, the country director of UNDP, also spoke on the relevance of national progress. He explained that the United Nations, and in particular UNDP, is ready to take part in any and all forms of improving the lives of Somaliland citizens. Mr. Kinlock continued to explain that the UNDP is an active partner of Somaliland's government in implementing developmental projects nationwide. The tour concluded with Director General of Aviation and Air Transport Ahmed Dalal Farah pledging on behalf of the ministry he represents to amplify efforts in reshaping, reforming and restructuring national airports.
Somaliland's Minister of Interior is holding multiple training programs for police officers nationwide. The program's aims are to provide necessary training skills to Somaliland's police force in handling gender-related investigations. In this particular instance, Police Commissioner of Togdera Region, Mohammed Farah, urged Togdera officers to utilize training theories in their practical work.
The Ministry of Interior, under the leadership of Minister Mohammed Noor Arale-Dur, is working closely with police officials in handling gender-related investigations through a series of training programs. In cooperation with the UNDP, the Ministry of Interior has and continues to provide essential training skills to Somaliland's police and judiciary branches in handling gender-related cases. Participants included senior police officials, representatives of local and international organizations, officials of the judiciary branch of Somaliland's government, tribal and cultural leaders, as well as prominent advocates of women's rights. Police Commissioner of Togdera Region, Mohammed Farah, opened the training program with initial remarks. He elaborated on the role that police officers play in providing security to citizens, in particular women and children. The police commissioner stated that it's essential that more training programs are offered to police officers in handling and investigating gender-related cases. However, the police commissioner expressed his support and the unrelenting support of Somaliland's government in promoting gender equality throughout every institution of the nation. A representative of the Ministry of Interior elaborated on the target goals in respect to providing police officers with training. He informed attendees that the Ministry of Interior is committed to excellence and as such will continue effortlessly to provide training to those responsible for protecting the law. Officials representing UNDP, an implementing partner of Somaliland's Ministry of Interior, were also present at the event.
Humanitarian efforts are taking place in different regions of Somaliland, with severe drought conditions impacting coastal areas and an emergence of internally displaced people. The government of Somaliland, in cooperation with local and international NGOs, are working around the clock to help those most in need. Gamur, one of the many affluent fish companies in Somaliland's fishery sector, transferred fish in the quantity of tons to Hargeysa's Orphanage Center, the tuberculosis hospital, and residents residing in less fortunate conditions in the Da'ada neighborhood. CEO of Gamur Company, Dahir Mohammed Gamur, informed media officers that this is one of many attempts to provide necessary assistance to those most in need. Mr. Gamur added that it's of an extreme significance and in many cases a moral obligation for the fortunates to assist the less fortunate. Anab Hassan Ahmed, a senior official of Hargeysa's Orphanage Center, commended Gamur Company for their food donation. She stated that the Orphanage Center depends on support from Somaliland's government and businesses such as this one. Other individuals involved in the transfer ceremony expressed appreciation and gratitude towards the food donations provided by Gamur Company to Hargeysa's Orphanage Center, the tuberculosis hospital, and those residing in less than fortunate conditions in the Da'ada neighborhood. African Union forces have launched a coastal assault and taken control of parts of Kismayo, the last major stronghold of Somalia's militants. Al-Shabaab used the port to bring in weapons and earn revenue. Kenyan troops are part of the AU force trying to wrest control of the country for the new UN-backed president. Kenyan military spokesperson, Colonel Cyrus Oguna, told reporters that parts of Kismayo had been captured and the rest was expected to fall soon. The beach landing happened on the main road to Mogadishu to the north of the city, where Al-Shabaab spokesmen say they engaged in heavy fighting with the AU forces. The Kismayo residents told the reporters they had seen no Kenyan or Somali government forces in the city proper. An eyewitness in Kismayo Hospital said he had seen wounded civilians there. Other accounts suggest one civilian has been killed and 3 others have been wounded. Residents say they can also hear shelling outside the city and people are scared that the fighting will spread. Checkpoints have been set up on the main road north of Kismayo, with one eyewitness telling the BBC reporters that the AU forces appear to include white troops. There have been numerous reports of U.S. Special Forces operating against the militants in Somalia. However, the U.S. Africa Command said on Friday it was not participating in Kenya's military activities in the region. The leaders of Sudan and South Sudan have agreed on deals in trade, oil, and security, easing tensions that brought them to the brink of war in April. The leaders met in neighboring nation Ethiopia for these historical talks.
Omar al-Bashir and southern counterpart Salva Kiir signed the accords after days of talks in Ethiopia's capital. They agreed to set up a demilitarized buffer zone and concluded other deals which should lead oil sales to resume. Mr. Kiir said that the agreement signed on Thursday brought to an end a long conflict and held a great day in the history of the region. Mr. Bashir described his southern counterpart as a partner in peace and hinted that there would be talks to open the border. But the two sides failed to agree on the disputed region, which lies on the border and is inhabited by both nomadic herdsmen who are loyal to Sudan and other groups who are closely linked to the south. And few details have been released about the agreement the two sides made regarding oil. At independence in July 2011, South Sudan acquired 2/3 of the former Sudan's oil, but Khartoum retained the processing and export facilities. A row over how much the South should pay Sudan in transit fees led to the South shutting down production in January this year. The two countries' economies have been seriously damaged as a result. Oil accounts for some 98% of South Sudan's budget.
Syrian opposition forces have disclosed information pertaining to an attack on the National Army. Members of the opposition group attacked an overwhelming number of government vehicles in hopes of pressuring the Bashar al-Assad government to step aside for democratic elections.
General Administration of the Syrian Opposition Army stated that an explosion hit several military vehicles of the Syrian National Army near government headquarters. On the other hand, Field Coordination Committee of the Syrian Opposition Army informed the press that more than 70 people were killed in different areas of Syria today. Earlier, human rights activists explained that multiple confrontations between the opposition and military forces loyal to President Bashar al-Assad took place. The international community continues to be at odds about the needed measures to resolve the ongoing Syrian conflict.
That's the end of our news. Be sure to join us here at the same time tomorrow. For myself and the entire team here at Somaliland National Television English, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.